It keeps going.
You probably don't want me to. It's bad.
Alright, I'm gonna scoot this way.
It's a line.
Never know.
I'll be right back.
I'll go with you. This is insane. Holy, like, I can't even see the end yet.
Loving you, that's all I can do. But is it enough to live on? I'll write you a song.
The end of the line.
The other end of campus.
Yeah.
Started in the middle of campus and went to the other end.
Live on.
Am I allowed to be like brutally honest?
You can say whatever you want.
I think he is a buffoon. As a woman, I think it would be morally wrong to support him, considering he really believes that women are inferior to men, and that's just the beginning of his issues. He literally thinks that he can tell you what to do with your body, and I don't understand how anyone can be supportive of that. Also, his opinions on minorities, his blatant racism, I think that that's absolutely unacceptable as a quality for a person, but especially in a presidential candidate, you don't want a racist. So that's it's just people being here today has been very very huge for me, because it's kind of just like I can't really understand why anyone's support. I'm so confused. I really hope people will sort of come to their senses and realize that he is not a good person, much less a good presidential candidate.
Do you mind me asking who you're voting for?
Bernie. Bernie, I feel the burn. I love him.
Perfect. Thank you.
As like a celebrity, I was really kind of Switzerland when it came to Trump. As soon as he became a presidential candidate, I was very turned off by the things he was saying. And the way he goes about saying things. He's very aggressive, and I'm not into that. I'm really excited, although I won't be voting for Trump. I'm excited that he's here because it does bring attention to our beautiful campus, so that's exciting.
So you go to school here?
I do, yes.
Okay, so if you don't mind my asking, you don't have to answer this, but who are you voting for?
I'm actually unsure yet. If it comes down to Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump, I don't think I will be voting at all, but...
It's very different for me. I'm from a different country. I'm from Italy, so being here and hopefully getting to see him is going to be very interesting. The opinion that he's giving us from a different point of view and from outside the United States is embarrassing. He's embarrassing the United States. He's exhorting people to be violent. I don't know much about his politics and his opinions on healthcare or many other things, and that's why I'm here to find out. But the opinion that he's giving and what he's showing us from a different point of view and from outside the United States is that he's embarrassing the United States just by being racist, not respecting women, and pushing people to violence.
Yeah.
The only thing I can say is that in line there's a lot of people that my friends warned me about before coming to the United States. They said, be careful to that type of people. And it's just very interesting to see that as much as I don't trust stereotypes, to see what kind of people is here and the things they say in line, and the racists come and they drop every once in a while, and the signs they're holding, and kids my age exhorting to racism and just promoting everything that Trump says. It's very interesting how it reflects what people warn me about.
Do you have any worries about being a foreigner today?
Not really. I don't think I should be affected directly by what Trump says. I feel like the racism is towards a different group of people than me. But you know, it's just very sad to see that in the land of freedom you're not free to be yourself and practice your religion and be respected by the people of this country.
Jafari Austin Young. I'm a student at Concordia University down in Mequon, originally from Orlando, Florida. Just up here visiting while the Don's in town.
The Don. And do I have your permission to put this on YouTube?
Definitely.
Awesome. And what are your thoughts on Donald Trump?
I mean, I can't really say I have any thoughts that can be backed up by any solid facts. Everything I've seen from this campaign has been basically off of Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, so I figured in our day and age, with so many of us in my generation, it's better to come and see the man speak for himself and hear what he has to say with my own ears.
Being a man of color, are you afraid to be here at all today? I know that's
I mean,
an
my
issue.
phone's still blowing up now. Everyone telling me be careful, be safe. I mean, I act right. I've had my fair share of running with law enforcement. I come from the state of Casey Anthony and the Trayvon Martin verdict, so I mean, everything's pretty controversial everywhere I go. But when I'm here representing, I mean, my race as well as my school, and I brought another buddy of mine of color that represents the SGAI assistant manager radio station. So kind of here as representatives of our school willingly, as well as trying to be somewhat of a voice, and we can take back what we hear here today.
Sure, awesome. Well, thanks for coming. Do you have any final thoughts to say, or
Hit me up with the link when this goes up.
He's kind of the candidate who says what's on his mind. You look at Ted Cruz, he's very far right. He's kind of almost fallen off the spectrum if you're a Republican. So it's kind of hard to vote for him when he's really that far out there on the conservative side. You look at John Kasich. I think Kasich's probably the best on all the policies. Probably the smartest candidate we have for Republicans. But look at Trump as a Republican candidate. He's most likely going to win. I think he's a good businessman. I think he walks into a room and he controls the room. And I don't think all the other candidates do that. I think he has the business smarts to run the country. I also think he's very good at delegating and picking the right people to be in his cabinet, whereas I don't think other candidates really have the experience that he does with running businesses and picking the right people to I guess, run his policies and run the country for him.
Sure.
Actually, I'm kind of excited about him. It's about time somebody speaks a lot of things that we've been thinking about, and my biggest reason I'm excited about him running is that he can't be bought. And so many politicians can be bought, and that's why the Koch brothers and that's why all these other people are not sponsoring him, because they're looking for someone they can sway the opinion. It's easier because they can get the checks from the big people and the pharmaceutical companies and stuff. He doesn't need it. So, yeah. That's
Sure. Okay. Are you for sure going to vote for him?
Absolutely.
Do you know yet? Yeah. Okay. And if there was like your number one reason, I guess, for voting for him, what would that be?
The number one reason I want to vote for him is that I feel like he really gets where we're coming from, and we being an average American person, and I just feel like we need someone to straighten us up.
This is Jordan Seidel. I'm a student here.
Okay, and is it okay if I put this on YouTube?
Yeah, sure.
Awesome. And what are your thoughts on Donald Trump?
I don't like him. I'm a poli-sci student. I listen to all of his policies, and whenever I listen to them, they're short-term, reckless. They're just the kind of ideas that maybe work, maybe the people think they work, but they'll never last and only cause further problems down the road. But he lies a lot, and that kind of sucks. But people don't care, and they don't like, and they don't want to. I don't know, people don't like to fact check further, and that just really bothers me. As someone who's really into politics.
Yeah.
He doesn't really talk at all. He doesn't give many views on anything. He's just a whole lot of empty space and hot air.
Sure.
That's what I keep coming to. Just the fact that he doesn't tell the truth, and he doesn't care anymore about telling the truth. And even worse than that, people don't care to find the truth. That's the worst thing.
I agree with a lot of what Donald Trump stands for. I agree that he wants to support veterans. I have a few veterans that are in my family. I also agree with Donald Trump's stance on Second Amendment rights. My family, we love guns. Terrorists or anyone like that who wants to kill a number of people, they're gonna get a gun either way, and we want to be able to have that right as an American of protecting ourselves in case that happens. I also support him with his immigration ideas and on his platform. I know some people aren't, but that's just something that, again, with the protection and again with the jobs too, because as a college student I want to be able to have a more secure job someday instead of having so many people come from out of the country that are in a very poor state. I'd rather go to their country, help them in their own culture and in their own city where they feel safe. I'm a little frightened by how he would be able to run this country with him being a celebrity, quote unquote, but I guess what he stands for somewhat outweighs that. And if he picks Carson to be VP, I would totally vote for him all the way. I guess my favorite part about Donald Trump is that he is so motivated and he just like goes in and gets the job done. I guess the negative side to him is that he goes a little too strong and might not think about it.
The best thing you could think of about Trump, what would that be?
It's probably that he does support our military, or that he's not being funded by other people, so he's not a figurehead.
Okay.
And I think that's a big deal for people.
Anything you don't like about him, or the worst thing about him?
Probably some of the violence that he's created and some of the things that he says aren't very politically correct. And I think that's a big drawback from him. I think it's pretty cool to be a part of this type of history. It's a big election.
Living here on the brink of collapse. Hey! If you're lost in the woods, follow my tracks. Hey! And I'm breathing in the fumes, but the lack of oxygen feels good. I'm living the American dream. Hey!
And what are your thoughts on Donald Trump, John?
Generally, before this election, I didn't really pay much attention to him. I thought he was more of a reality TV star than anything. I know he was on The Apprentice and everything. As the election sort of dragged on, I thought it was kind of fun to begin with, but now that it's actually becoming kind of serious, it's more scary than anything. I feel like Donald Trump has become more hateful with his speech and his mannerisms, and he never really has any answers for the questions I'm really looking for. If you bring up any questions about things like foreign policy, Donald Trump kind of goes for sort of a bombastic style of answering the question while not really answering it at all, more or less just redirecting the subject and going right back to make America great again. I mean, obviously you want to make America great again, but you don't really know how he's going to do it. Judging everyone by kind of stereotypes, associating all Muslims with terrorists, associating all Hispanics with illegal immigrants, it's, I don't know, it's very scary when you see that much support for what he's doing out there. It's very fantastic to see just how many people have really gotten out here to sort of participate. And it's not just for people who are against Trump, even people who are for Trump. I'm just really glad to see how active everyone's getting about this. And I am honestly most impressed by seeing just how rational everyone is being about this issue. We haven't had any incidents today. We haven't had any national security incidents or anything, so I guess you can say that's a plus. Yeah. Take care, Jeff.
Yep, you too. Is this the first time you've protested?
Yeah.
Yeah, the first time. Okay, and what are your thoughts on Donald Trump?
I don't exactly agree with his statements and stuff. Like, I definitely didn't enjoy the whole idea of kind of Mexico, because I'm kind of Mexican, and his idea that all Mexicans are thieves and rapists are like, no. I also don't like his idea of kind of all Muslim people coming back to the country, because I actually have some friends who are from Islam and stuff, and they're very nice people, and there's a lot of them back in that country who want to come here, who don't agree with ISIS. So I find it completely horrible that he thinks that all people are this just because of a small percentage. Technically, all white people are not angels sent either. I know my fair share of nice and mean people. There's no race for that. Do I have a favorite? I'm sure that way deep down somewhere in that dark heart, there's some good in him. I mean, I'm hoping that maybe a greater thing.
How about your least favorite?
Least favorite? Oh, you're making me choose? I guess his overall hatred of people, and his ways of bullying people based on their looks, genders, anything really. I just don't like his hatred for people. I just don't. There needs to be more love in our community, in this whole world. We need more love, and like my son says, God loves all of us. Even Donald Trump. Or it's supposed to astound it and both why? But I'm like, it's God. God loves everybody.
I
My main motivation for protesting was making sure that the media cannot say that students from this college support Donald Trump. I don't really think I like anything about Trump. Yeah, I'm not a fan of his language against women, his language against minorities, any of his ideals. I just think it's all very wrong. As much as I see that our college wants to support dialogue and academic dialogue, I don't think that Donald Trump is about academic dialogue. I think he's about only spreading hate. And our president, Kunkel, had sent out, he had said, if we can't have these conversations at college campuses, where can we have them? And I thought that was very true. But I also was uncomfortable with the threat of violence. Me and Maria both are music students, and it's taking place in the music building, so we have no classes, and that's super fun.
Oh, it's so cold.
Yep.
I've been here since 5:45. You know, I think that his message is hate-filled. I think people didn't take him seriously at first. I think people thought it was funny, thought that it was a joke, but it's getting serious and it's getting dangerous, and he is not the kind of person that should ever hold public office. You can kind of liken it to the leaders who rose to power leading up to World War II. You know, they have insanely nationalist followers who are trying to regrow their country, but they're doing it in a way that is very dangerous and divisive and will not grow the kind of country that America should be. He says very little, although he talks a lot. I've heard his plans for the wall. If you take a logical approach to how it's going to be paid and also what it actually would accomplish, it's absurd. You know, he said he wants to deport people, he wants to police different minority neighborhoods. He basically just wants to make America filled with fear, and I don't think that that's great. I think that that is hate. Anyone who's watching Donald Trump speak and is filled with fear or is feeling isolated or is worried about the direction that America is going, know that we are here. We're here for you. We don't hate you. We understand that diversity is fully a part of the American fabric.
Is there anything you want to say to the Donald Trump supporters?
No. I'm very grateful to the media for allowing us to use our voices.
Cool. Any final thoughts?
That's all I got.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Personally, being a student of color and being here, if you would become president, I think it would make not only my life, but those who identify themselves as multicultural a bit difficult. They say, oh, it's great, like, it's a good place, you can get lots of opportunities to go up and get an education. The education system is well built, but once you make it in here, everything else makes it really difficult because nobody is willing to understand or like give you a chance. So you have to fight extra hard for it, and once you get that position or you get the education, they just keep on pushing you down and making it more difficult.
No matter where he stands, even if he was Democratic or whatever, like whatever he really wants to label himself, the fact that he's saying hateful things about nearly every single person involved in the world is something that I'm not okay with. I think that I have many friends that are, you know, of different ethnicities, and that even if I don't know the people, that they're still people and that we're all in this together.
If there was something you wanted to say to the Donald Trump supporters, what would that be?
Explain thoroughly of why you are following this person. And I mean, I guess that could be asked for me of the same question, but I think it would be, what is your reasoning for following him?
If you had to guess, like, what their reasoning is?
I think it has to do a lot with propaganda. Everybody thought it was a joke, so I think that by thinking it was a joke, he got popularity through that. And I mean, we're in such a media age that anything can be turned into such a viral hit. 4 months ago, we're like, oh crap, he's actually, and now he's actually gonna do quite well.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Hi, my name is Perla. I mean, we're all equal, and this nation was, it all started with immigrants, and the way that he talks about immigrants is just not the right way he should be saying it. We need peace and love in this country and for the rest of the world, and if he becomes president, I don't think that's gonna ever be peace in America again.
If there was anything you could say to the Trump supporters, what would that be?
Open your eyes, people. Open your eyes and see what he's doing. He wants to separate families by saying that he's gonna put a wall. You don't know who's behind that wall. You don't know who's there. There's kids, there's families that are being separated. Immigrants are not only people who come here alone. They have families that are left on the other side of the country, and they only come here for good. They want their families to have support. They want their families to have education, a better future. There's nothing else but that. We're not criminals. We just come here for a better future.
I sat through it. Idiot.
Can you say that again?
You guys are awesome. Thank you for being here.
It was so bad. It was bad? It was so bad.
He talks about politics. He spent a lot of time talking about success, which is definitely something that we need to look forward to. But I would have liked to have heard more about his policies rather than his experiences in business.
Disappointing talk.
What was disappointing about it?
He didn't really talk about policy, just told stories the whole time.
Okay, yeah.
He didn't really talk about too many huge topics. It was more of a college-geared talk than an actual political talk.
What did he say about college?
He talked a lot about success.
I thought it was really interesting. He talked a lot about success, not so much on policy, and it was the first time that he's kind of focused on success, and I think that was really important for a college setting. And he talked about jobs and how he's going to promote jobs, which is really important, especially for a small school like this coming out. I'm a junior getting ready to graduate next year, so that was a really useful, it was a really invigorating rally.
Very impressed, very impressed. Very cordial and down to earth, and really appealing to a lot of the younger folk there, just to stay focused and
what about these?
Be determined and not to give up. Trying to give the youth the inspiration to really do a good job.
So it was pretty directed towards the college students?
More so, yes. It's a little different than a lot of the other rallies that I've seen.
And are you definitely voting for Trump, or are you undecided?
Undecided? Are you kidding? I was in June 16th when he came there, Make America Great Again. Awesome. There's no equivocating there. If he ain't the man, it ain't going.
Speaking for a lot of people, they're angry at what's going on in Washington and want to see our country do better.
And are you definitely voting for Trump or undecided?
I'm undecided this time. It's going to be Trump, Kasich, or Cruz. I'm really looking for someone that will be able to do the best against the Democrats in the fall.
I thought that it almost seemed more like a keynote speech than a presidential speech, which I thought was a good idea because some of his rallies on the news had seemed fairly violent just from his speech, so I thought it seemed more calm and meaningful than what I had thought it might be. In person, he doesn't seem as, he isn't as much of a bad guy than the news portrays him by, at least from what you could see on stage.
Donald Trump was inside for a town hall event. He did touch on quite a few things while he was speaking. He spoke about jobs, success in life, momentum, and he also touched on the video of his campaign manager and why he did not fire him.
I don't think it was very useful in the campaign trail. I feel like you should be talking more about politics. I can kind of see where he would think that like a success speech would be important for the young kids, but I think overall it wasn't really helpful on kind of informing people of his positions.
And are you definitely voting for Trump, or are you on the fence? Or?
Absolutely not.
Absolutely
not even a question.
Who are you voting for? Do you know yet?
Not really sure. I don't think the candidates running are that great. I went to school here. I'm a social studies teacher, so Middle Eastern history. To put it simply, he doesn't know what he's talking about. In a lot of different speeches, he wasn't aware of like the people in charge of terrorist organizations like ISIS. He didn't know who Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi were, people that, maybe average citizens don't need to know, but he should definitely know. I think it's a little scary because of his lack of knowledge for foreign policy. That's probably the biggest one, the scariest one. I think as well, I got 2 nephews at home, and I don't think he's a good role model for them.
Living here on the brink of collapse. Hey! If you're lost, my friend, follow my tracks, hey! And I'm breathing in the fumes, but the lack of oxygen.
Click on the subscribe button. Do it. Click on it. Go ahead. Try it. Click on the button.